How do you look at Filipinos as basketball fans?
I think there's some of the most passionate basketball players in the world. Um, Absolutely love the game and have a tremendous amount of respect and admiration because of it. There's a lot of energy that surrounds the game of basketball.
Kobe, can you describe what Kobe Inc. is like, and you do the stuff you do right now?
Well, our focus is on two things, two disciplines, which is publishing and production. Right? And so it's being able to publish stories. Publishing in the sense that we're creating them internally. The goal of publishing stories that are inspirational and informational for kids all over the world. And then in production, we're looking to extend the Muse series. So the film that I created, which was Muse, is only the first piece of that. We're looking to create other films with influential minds, people that have done phenomenal things, and get their insights on how they've created them and why they created them, in hopes that the world can understand their process and learn from their process. So we're really focused in on storytelling.
What were the inspiration behind that?
Well, I had a really great mentor when I first came into the league, Michael Jackson, and he was really into having muses, and Fred Astaire, James Brown, and so forth and so on. And from those muses, he was able to figure out how to be better himself. And it wasn't just entertainment industry or music; it was acting, it was sports heroes, it was writers, things of that nature. He looked at everybody and what made them great. Why were they great? And how can we learn from them? And so, about 5 years ago, the concept came to me. Because if you're a kid growing up, if you want to learn how to be the best version of yourself, why not learn from those who have done it? There's only so much that books can teach you. I think there's certain things that you have to see for yourself. And to see these muses in action, creating these things is the best way for our kids to learn. And that's how it came to be.
Just one more question. You did a teaser for the Argentina versus USA for Fox Sports. What was the experience like? Doing the voiceover and doing it in style.
It was fun. I mean, I'm such a big soccer fan, football fan, so it was easy just to understand the passion that's involved, and then it just became my responsibility to communicate that. And also, there's a lot of respect for the guys that are actually putting the videos together, because it's a tough process and a quick turnaround. So I wanted to make sure I delivered a great performance for them, because I know how much work it is to actually get it done.
It was great.
Thank you.
Great.
Kobe, any thoughts of possibly coaching or maybe ownership of the sports team?
No, I mean, ownership, maybe, but in a very passive sense of the word. Coaching, no. I think there's, if I coached a team of 15 players, whatever the case may be, I can really teach 15 players how to try to be the best version of themselves, how to really understand the details of the game. But I'm more excited that through storytelling, I can teach millions. And I think that really will raise the level of consciousness of the game more so than I can do by coaching.
Okay, Kobe, throughout your career, you won and lost in the finals. If you are to advise the Cleveland Cavaliers and Golden State Warriors, coming from the Mamba state of mind, what will that be?
Well, I mean, if I'm Cleveland, I never want to be dethroned. If I'm Golden State, I'm just obsessing over getting back there again next year and winning. And it's a process of Golden State to figure out how did they let a 3-1 lead slip away. You can't just brush it aside. You have to be uncomfortable and look at those things and really evaluate why it happened. And from Cleveland's point of view, what made them successful, but also what are things that they need to be mindful of, because it came very, very close to losing the game. So that's what I would do.
Thank you.
Kobe, in terms of Mamba mentality and approach, who do you think among the present NBA players are the closest to your bull strong winning mentality and work ethic?
Well, I mean, just from the fact that Kyrie mentioned it after Game 7, he was clearly thinking about that, you know what I mean? And so there's a lot of players, young players in the league that I talk to often. You know, they'll call me up during the playoffs and during the season. We'll talk about some things. Some are strategy or tactically based, and others are more emotional or leadership based. So there's quite a few young players out there that I speak to on a consistent basis about it.
Another quick one. Last year you did your own documentary, Kobe Bryant's Muse. So we've openly discussed about storytelling, getting into productions of telling various
Sure.
life-changing stories. So from this point forward, now you're retired and you would want to pursue that. Where do you start in terms of the production and where do you gather the resources that you would want for?
Well, you just start with the team. So the team that I used to build the Muse, some of them are still around as I build out the next series of them. But now we have a lot of experience in how we built it. I mean, the first Muse film, it was like I compared it to building a plane as you're flying a plane, right? Because we're just kind of going, and you know. Now we have a really good understanding of how the film is structured, the sequence of the film, the chapters, the black and whites in between, the level of questioning and research that we do. So I have the team already set. We have the resources there. And now it's just a matter of just executing it, which is what we're doing now.
Kobe, you won gold for the U.S. in 2 Olympics. The Philippines is trying to get back into Olympic basketball after 44 years of hosting a qualifying year. We're up against teams from Canada, Turkey, France. What message of hope can you give our national team looking forward to this Olympic qualifier?
Well, my message of hope is, first of all, you have to have the belief, right? Like I said earlier, imagination is the most important thing. That's where it starts. So they have the belief of winning. And secondly, it's practice. It's practice. Everybody can walk around and have hope all day, but having hope is absolutely meaningless if you don't put in the work to achieve, right? So for them, the best advice I can give is to practice really, really hard, work together as a group, identify what your weaknesses are, and work to make those your strengths. And if you can do that, you give yourself a much, much better chance at winning.
Just a second question, Kobe. From when you first played in the NBA, how was the game evolved and how has it changed and what adjustments did you make to adapt? And do you think a small man from the Philippines might have a better chance now to make it to the NBA than before when the premium was being big?
Yeah, well, it's the league has changed a lot. I mean, from when I first came in the league, just the rules have changed drastically. The size and the speed of the game has changed drastically. The emphasis on three-point shooting has changed drastically. That being said, it does give a great opportunity for smaller players to make it to the NBA. But the level of skill must be at a high level. So it hasn't become easier. The style has changed. But the commitment to get to that level remains the same, if not more so, because now you have kids having the ability to really imagine being there because the game is much smaller and played at a different pace. So that means that you have more kids really aspiring to get to that level, believing that they can get to that level, which just heightens the competition. So now you probably have to work even harder to be one of those players.
Could we ask you about the Vino Club and All-Star Game? Are there any updates, new members, and also off the court, since you have no more championships to chase on the court, what would be a championship to you not right now?
Well, the Vino Club. I mean, there's quite a few people in the Vino Club, man. It's just continuing to figure out ways to not combat Father Time, but to work hand in hand with Father Time, to evolve, to adapt, to change, and to grow. Right? I mean, that's what Vino Club is really all about. And then, what's a championship for me now? A championship for me now is creating products that enable people to be the best version of themselves, and creating content that informs and inspires people to be the best version of themselves. And if I can do that, then I think that's really powerful. You can create stories that are art pieces in and of themselves that challenge people to be the best version of themselves. And then in turn, they take their own journey and use that to inspire the next generation. And then you have this constant cycle of inspiration that I think just makes the world a better place.
Thank you so much, Kobe. Thank you
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you, Kobe.